Hi everybody. So great to see you. Come hang out with me. This is an impromptu live. Just wanted to come and hang out with you, practice talking, and see what y'all have been up to. I love our Starlink internet. Finally, I can stream live with you. Sorry, I have a cat who's going crazy up in a window, so she's distracting me. I wanted to get some practice with my talking because next week we're going to start streaming live, putting together Sunday stars. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Hi Trinita, how are you doing? Hi everybody, it's so great to see you. Y'all, I still sound a little hissy, but I'm practicing my talking. And things are going good. Hi Debbie, thank you so much. I'm healing up pretty good. My bite is still a little off, and I think that's one reason why I'm having a hard time still talking, because my bottom teeth are a little off. And so I had a soft reline done like 2 days ago, which helped a lot. But next week, they're going to do something a little more permanent to my bottom teeth. But they wanted to wait for me to heal a little bit more before they do that, because that's a little bit more permanent of a fix. Hi, Kimberly. So yeah, I had some free time today. I just got done editing our last clue video. And this quilt is so pretty. Can I just tell you, I'm ready to just start putting it together, though. 21 weeks is a long time. Hello, everybody. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Celeste. 21 weeks is a long time. I've had so much fun, though, in the last week playing with my new machine, y'all. There is so much to learn with this thing. But do you want to see what I did yesterday? I'm trying to figure out where all the buttons are so that I can sew during the live. And I'm not trying to figure out how to set a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So yesterday I made this mug rug, y'all. The pattern is done, and it's going to be in the Etsy shop August the 5th, right? But isn't that so cute? I stitched that on my new machine, just learning where all the buttons are, what does what foot does what. I haven't even tapped into all the things this machine can do. Let me just tell you, she sews like a Cadillac. I am like so impressed. Dee, hi from Kentucky. Hello everybody. So yeah, isn't that so cute? This red fabric was from my Aunt Avis, and so was this green one. Isn't that just awesome? Trinita asks, can we quilt as you go with Sunday stars, do you mean? I think you could. I think you could. Once you get the blocks together, y'all, bear with me, I'm learning how to talk, okay? Once you get the blocks together, I think that you could do quilt as you go, and you could quilt each individual block and then assemble everything, right? I think you could do that. Thank you, Lori Ann. Thank you. My new smile. Anyway, I had some free time because I just got done editing that video, and I thought, you know what? If we're going to start streaming live next week, I better do some practice. It's been a while. I did one live. We made a mug rug or something a couple weeks ago live. But other than that, I haven't streamed live in a long time, so I better just practice with it. Hey Sheila. Y'all want to see something So adorable. Do you want to see it? That's from our garden. We have 5 of these. These are pumpkin pie pumpkins. They're not supposed to be like big. But I thought it would be a little bit bigger than this. We have 5 of them right now. Actually, 2 of them are bigger than this, and there's 3 that are about this size. I want to can them. I've never canned pumpkin. I am craving some pumpkin pie though. I am so ready for fall. Are you? I want some pumpkin pie. We have 5 little baby pumpkins. Isn't that so cute? I just had to show that off. Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? So yeah, what else have I been doing? I digitized my logo block. If you're on Patreon, I uploaded the stitch file for that. So if you want to stitch out my logo on anything, really a shirt, I'm going to put it on a shirt. Yeah, that stitch file is up there, and you can have fun with that. Yes, bring on the pumpkin. I know, right? I love the smells of fall. I love the temperatures of fall. I love the flavors of fall. Sheila, you've been drinking pumpkin spice coffee. Do they already have that flavor out already? Do you want to see something else? Y'all, on Patreon, we're gonna do, this is the first time I've ever done this, an all-day workshop. It's gonna be like 8 hours long of a landscape nautical quilt. Do you want to see what I'm working on? So my parents are photographers, right? And they go out and they do photo shoots of all kinds of stuff. Mostly wildlife and flowers and things like that. But she took this photo, and if you're familiar with the 757, right, in Virginia, the East Coast, Yorktown, Virginia, if you've ever heard of it. This photo she took, it's just printed on regular paper. You should see the actual photo. It is gorgeous. But this is the Yorktown Pier. And I've decided we're going to make a landscape art quilt from her photo. All right. And so once I committed and actually chose the picture and set a date for it, I was like, you know what? How am I going to do that? So I said, well, you know what? What better way to break in this new machine and learn all the things it can do? Plus, give me an idea of how this quilt's going to come together instead of just trying to figure it out the day of the class and we're all just trying to figure out how to do it. So I'm making a demo, right, of this art quilt. And I'm not done, but let me just show you the progression. So I took my mom's photo and I made a sketch of it, right? Can you see that? I sketched it out with pen. And then I scanned it, and then I enlarged it however big I wanted the quilt to be, right? So there's my sketch of her photo, and taped it all together. It's like 6 pages. And then I was able to trace from that to get all the different applique shapes, right? So this is where I'm at. And I'm glad I did this, because at least I'll go into the class and I'll know, okay, you should probably do this first, and then this, and then this, and here's some different ideas for different things you can do, right? Instead of just making stuff up on the fly. But this is where I'm at so far. with my demo. And I'm doing free motion quilting on my new machine, thread painting, some details, and I broke up the Inktense pencils and added some shading to some stuff. Anyway, it's been really good working time with my new machine, and I'm having so much fun. So if you're interested, you might want to check out Patreon. You could join for just the month and do this class with us. You don't have to sign up for a year or nothing. But if you've wanted to learn like art quilts, collage quilts, I call this a landscape quilt. It's kind of a landscape, but it has a pier in it. But we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be an all-day class. That's coming up. What else? Oh, next week we start assembling Sunday stars. I can't wait. D, I got the Baby Lock All Tier 2. I absolutely love it. What else? I don't know. I had a whole list of things to talk about, but I didn't write them down, and now I'm drawing on blank. Oh, if you're on Creative Crew, a string was on me. If you're on the Creative Crew on Facebook, in the file section, and I've pinned it to the top in the featured section, there's a blank recipe page. If you would like to put in some of your family recipes into the Creative Crew cookbook, print off that page, write out your recipe, and then mail it to my P.O. box. I'm putting together a Creative Crew cookbook, and I'm hoping to have it done by Christmas. But I've only gotten one set of recipes from somebody. So the whole cookbook would consist of 2 recipes from me and 2 from Darlene. So if you want to enter your recipes into the Creative Crew cookbook, check out in the featured section at the top of Creative Crew Facebook page. It's a PDF. You can print out that recipe sheet, fill it out, and mail it to my post office box. Hey, Beverly. Trinita, you got a Cricut machine. That's awesome. Yeah, mail your recipes. I'm hoping I have a good collection by mid-December, and then I can compile everything in order, you know, like desserts, main dishes, side dishes, and then upload it so everybody can have a copy of the cookbook. I should have brought something for me to do while we're here. But really, just to be really honest with you, this is just a practice. Practice talking during a live. Because the only people I talk to are here at the house and myself. I haven't even gone to the store yet. And I did talk to everybody during our quilt retreat, which this time I did not stay up the whole 24 hours. I didn't make it this time. The first one I did, but several of y'all did. This time I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got back up at 7 and then stayed till we ended. So I did take a little bit of a break this last time, but it was so much fun. I had so much fun hanging out with y'all. Another thing that I'm working on is, and this is going to be here on YouTube. I'm redoing a quilt that I did back in my early days of learning how to quilt. It's a landscape quilt with houses, right? I'm still working on the pattern on that, but I'm hoping to do that in August here on YouTube. That's going to be a lot of fun. And another thing that I'm learning how to do is a picture quilt, but the whole quilt and the whole picture is made up out of circles. And so I'm still learning how to put together a pattern for that, and trying to choose a picture that I think everybody would enjoy making a quilt out of, right? The chickens are good. Lori Ann, I am so glad you're enjoying Inkscape. I love that. The chickens are doing great. Tomorrow's video, in the beginning, I show a little snippet of the baby. She is venturing more and more away from the mom and doing her own thing, but she always somehow gravitates back to mom, right? But she's getting more adventurous and a little bit more independent. And you'll find her, she'll be on the other side of their area, mom nowhere in sight. And she's quite independent, right? Are we able to scan, fill in the blanks, and email them to you? I would prefer that you mail me a copy, please. If you just print it out, handwrite it in, and then mail it to me. If I have emails coming in and if I miss somebody's email, that's just like too much, right? I'm so scared I'm going to miss someone's recipe. So if you just print it out and mail it to me, I'm collecting them that way. So Terry, here I am. I'm practicing in my lives. Thank you, Patty. Celeste, I sing all the time here by myself. And it does help, right? And here's the funny thing. You know, I'm so transparent. I think I am so transparent to a fault with y'all that I overshare information sometimes, right? But I think my transparency is also helpful for some people. Do you know what I mean? But what was I going to say? I sing all the time by myself. But I actually, here's the funny thing. When this camera is not on, I talk better. Isn't that weird? Like earlier this morning, I filmed a little snippet that I attached to the clue that comes out tomorrow. And I talk funny. I turned on the live camera, I talk funny. But when the camera's off and I'm just talking to Harlan or somebody, I talk more clearly. I don't know why that is. It's so funny. Hi, Marion. It's so great to see you. Scrunchions, I'm here live. Surprise. Mary, you're in Tennessee. That's okay if you're behind, because let me just tell you, in 24 hours time, I cut up all the rest. I have done all my clues. I am all caught up. Oh, you're at a fishing tournament. We just went fishing last weekend. Harlan caught a little baby shark. My mom is doing good. I think the adjustment, okay, so I had an advantage over my mom. And we've talked about this a lot, me and her. So for like 2 years, I had two partials, right? I had an upper and a lower. And my upper partial had a full mouth piece. And my bottom partial went from one side to the other. And so the transition from those two pieces to this has not been huge. It's a big transition, and there's a lot of healing, and I'm not anywhere close to being completely healed up. You know what I'm saying? But I've made a lot of progress in 2.5 weeks. But the feel of everything in my mouth is almost the same. So I've had 2 years to get used to that, where my mom, all the uppers and the lowers, everything, getting used to that for the first time is a lot, you know? So I think I've had an advantage with the partials and having those first. I still have a hard time eating, right? I can't bite into anything. My bite is still off. So when I bite, it doesn't cut anything. So I have to cut up all my food, which is fine. I would do that. And I have to take little bites. That's fine. And some things I still can't chew up. You know, I'm still sore a little bit. And some days are better than others. Isn't that just normal? Anytime you have any kind of surgery or something done, right? Some days are better than others. It's a process, right? And I figured just by the time I get used to these, and I'm talking normally, it'll be time to go in and get my permanent set. And then I'll have to get used to those all over again. Anyway, it's a process. So as I'm here and I'm brainstorming, do y'all remember, I have strings everywhere from that quilt. Do y'all remember when we did the hummingbird mosaic, right? I think that was a mystery quilt, wasn't it? We revealed it as we went from the top to the bottom as a mystery quilt. But it looks like stained glass, right? It was a hummingbird theme. What are, like if we did another kind of quilt from a picture, like butterflies or flowers, or what are some things that you would like to make a quilt into? Am I saying that right? Let me grab a piece of paper so I can write some stuff down. Give me some ideas, because I'm drawing a blank, but I think it would be the coolest thing. I don't want to write on that. I think it would be the coolest thing to make a picture quilt from nothing but circles. So if you have a Cricut or a Scan and Cut, that's going to come in handy. If you have one of those, is it right here? Let me see. Let me see if I have it. Yes, I do, right here. If you have one of these, what is this? An Olaf circle cutter, right? It's adjustable. You can cut all different size circles with this from fabric, right? This would be handy. If you have a go cutter that cuts with circle dies, I don't know how big the circles are going to be yet, but something that cuts circles really quickly, other than hand cutting them. You could, but this would be so much faster, right? A whole picture quilt, but the whole thing is made up of different colored circles, and when you stand back, it forms a picture. Doesn't that sound like so much fun? I want to do that. A horse. All right, let me write down. I'm not guaranteeing that that's what we're going to do, but I'm collecting ideas. A fence with flowers. Birdhouse. Now each circle is just, it's not a picture. I'll give you an example. Like here's the applique for the watermelon mug rug, right? Let's say we're making a watermelon quilt. Let me just draw some circles in here, right? We're impromptu live. All right, see the little circles? So everywhere the red part of the watermelon is, that would be a red circle. Everywhere the white rind is, you would use white circles. And then everywhere where the green is, you would use green circles. And you put them down on a foundation fabric, right? And so when you're done filling in everything and you stand back, it's a watermelon, but it's made up of different colored circles. Grapes. Elephants. Ah, the birdhouse. Let me put a check next to that. Yes, like a pixel quilt. Exactly. I was looking for a word for it. Is that such a thing? I'm going to do some YouTube searching and some Google searching on pixel quilt. That sounds exactly like what I want to do. A cat. Yes. Ah, different. I'm not sure, Mary. I don't know. I'm playing with it. I'm learning how to do it. Hey, Donna. Chickens. Ooh, wouldn't that be so much fun? I like that idea. A kitten. Brenda, I've had so many people talk about how much they loved all of those traditional quilt blocks we did. That was a lot of fun. Ah, you've seen them done with squares. That sounds cool. I really want to do the circles, and I'm in the learning part. Chickens. Okay, I'm putting a check mark next to chickens. A high heel. Interesting. Donna, do you wear high heels? I think I would break my neck if I tried to put on a high heel right now. I haven't worn a shoe with a heel in it. Wow. Like 16 years. Ah, Beverly said, yes, a pixel quilt is something. I have a friend that did one of her family home. That is so awesome. I would love to see it. If you have a picture of it, or she can send you a picture of it, Beverly, and then you can send it to me in like a message. I would love to see it. Oh, we got another vote for chickens. Donna, you do. You wear heels. I haven't worn them in forever. Butterflies. Oh, you would make bows and embellish them. That would be so cute. Aw, Lori, you made a... That's so awesome. I hope he likes them. Think about how you would get a straight line with circles. Maybe circles and squares or fabric scrap strips. I don't know. It's hard to explain my vision for it. I want to stay with one shape, but when you step away from the quilt, right, like 5 feet away from the quilt, your eye will just assume the straight lines. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think it's all going to depend on how big the circles are. The smaller, the more defined the picture is going to be, I think. But that's more circles to cut out and sew down, right? Flip-flops. That would be cute. Butterflies, check mark, dragonflies. And a check mark next to that. Hi, Kathy. It's so great to see you. I just have to figure out all the logistics stuff. And a picture that lots of people would enjoy having a quilt made from, right? How about making an illusion of circles? Donna, you always get my brain thinking. An illusion of circles. The circles would not overlap. Nope. They'd be touching one another, but there'd also be negative space, right? So I'm just going to do an impromptu little drawing here. If you chose a black fabric as a foundation, right? And then let's just say these are your circles. You're going to see the black fabric in between the spaces. See that right there? Which black or dark gray, some neutral color, maybe even white, depending on the colors of your circles. There would be some negative space in between. Dragonflies. Oh yes, okay, so let me do dragonflies, another check mark. Oh, another check mark for dragonflies. Bubbles. Butterfly, where's that check mark? So Terry said, oh, remember cutting out paper dolls that were attached? Yes. Maybe circles that way, or is that harder and not easier? So all the circles are attached. Each one of the different circles might be different colors. So I think they have to be independent, because you might have a red circle and a blue circle, depending on the picture, right? Side by side. A peace sign. Yes, applique the circles. Yep. Bubbles underwater like a dolphin, so it can have bubbles. A dolphin with bubbles. Yes, Celeste, exactly. Like a circle mosaic, and then it's grouted, right? So it has all the space, small little tiny spaces in between, but the circles are just next to each other. A cardinal or birds. That would be fun. A hippie bus with flowers. Now here I was thinking just keep the design nice and simple, right? A butterfly. And y'all want to do a bus with flowers on it, or dolphins underwater swimming with bubbles. A cow with horns. I like that too. I don't know, I'm writing down all these ideas. At least it gives me a direction, and I know I'll pick something that at least somebody's interested in. Anyway, that sounds like a lot of fun. What else? I don't think we're gonna do another big quilt project for a while. This one is just zapped. I don't know if it's because, you know, I've anticipated going through this, you know, for a couple months, and now I've done it and healing. It's just, I don't know. All the clues, it seems like it was a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? I've enjoyed it. I've had so much fun. I'm going to love this quilt once it's together. But 21 weeks. I tried to space it out so that it wasn't so much all at one time, you know. And even some of the weeks was kind of heavy sewing, you know. Even breaking it up into so many weeks. It was still a lot of sewing in some of those weeks, you know. So I don't regret spacing it out so long, but it just seems like I'm so ready to do something else. Yeah, so Terry said, well, the longer we have to think about it, the more complicated we can get. And you know what? Y'all sound like me. Whenever I want to do something new for the first time, I just dive in, and it seems like I picked the most complicated thing. And halfway in, I'm like, why did I pick something that was so difficult? I could have done this, learned how to do it with an easier project. But no, I dive into something new right on expert level every single time. Yeah. Okay. I wrote that down. I like the saying on my shirt. I would love more info on appliquing circles. You know, Kathy, I think years ago I did a video of different shapes, and I think a circle might be one of them. This was back like in my first year of making YouTube videos, so you'd have to scroll, or you'd have to hunt for that video probably. But I think if you type in Lisa Capen applique satin stitch, I bet you it comes up. I bet you that video will come up. I'm learning how to drink out of a straw again. I'm trying to grow out my hair. Lots of new things all at one time. Have you ever had a period in your life where it just seemed like everything, there was so much learning to do all at one time? Now, I do think, you know, so Terry just said, my head just went to making circles like you did, like you make hexes using cardstock. My plan for this pixel quilt, let's call it that, is to do raw edge applique, because that would be so much faster, right? But if you wanted to do finished edges on your circles, absolutely, you could cut a cardstock, right? And sew around the edges a basting stitch, pull that raw edge to the back and press it, and then remove the cardstock, and you have a perfect circle with a finished turned edge, right? That's more time consuming, probably way worth it for a lot of people, right? But me, I'm usually doing things the easier or faster way, so raw edge applique seems like it would be the way for me to go. But there's multiple different ways you could do it. Celeste said, the saying on your shirt would only require 3 colors. She really wants to do the saying on my shirt. Bye, Mary. It was so great catching up with you. So yeah, what else? I think this has been really good practice. One day I'm going to look back at these videos and I'm gonna be like, I can't believe I was on there talking, sounding like that. Whatever. Yes, like a yo-yo, Janice. Exactly. You could even make yo-yos. Sure, you could do that. Trees. Thank you, Donna, for reminding everybody to press the like button. Let me just tell y'all, the algorithm here on YouTube, YouTube does not like the Sunday Stars mystery quilt. But I think it's such a niche quilt. You know, not everybody loves paper piecing. Not everybody wants to do a big quilt from paper piecing, and I totally get that, right? But my views and YouTube is not pushing out those videos, and my channel is just struggling right now so much for the last 18 weeks. It's like, oh, to survive. So I'm excited to do something new, just to bring in people who have not been attending the weekly videos, you know, and I get it. Not everybody wants to sit through a video that they're not participating in the project, right? I totally get it. But YouTube is like, Lisa who? Ah, Brenda, yes, I would use fusible interfacing. Thank you to Eleanor Burns. Yes, I've seen that. My bread making, the first bread video I did was huge. Like, it did so good. But the longer a video is on YouTube, the less and less it performs, right? And I thought, well, that bread video did so good. Let me show a variation of making that bread with milk and eggs, right? And that video has flopped. So it doesn't, I don't know. Who knows the algorithm? I just caught it right the first time, and then the second time, no one was interested in making bread with egg and milk. I don't know. It's so weird. But the first bread video did fabulous. Y'all, I made a loaf of bread yesterday. I can finally eat bread. Do you know how, okay, so do you know how hard it is when you love bread so much to not be able to eat it? And I only had to go 2 weeks. 2 weeks and 2 days. 14, 15, 16 days without eating bread. But I made an egg salad sandwich yesterday, and I had to cut it up in little pieces. But I ate it, and it was so good. I made the mayonnaise for the egg salad. The eggs were from our girls. I made the bread from scratch. My mom made the relish that I used in the egg salad. And Harlan grew the cucumbers she made the relish from. How much more homemade can you get than that? Yeah, I have to cut everything into little bites, little tiny little nuggets. Oh, 5 baby quilts by the end of September. You can do that. If you buckle down, you can do that. I think so too, Celeste. Keep it simple. Yeah, everything was, I'm trying to think, there was nothing in there that we didn't make or grow. It was all from scratch. I'm going to tell you what else I did yesterday. So next to our house is a dirt road that goes to a couple houses down there and a little marina, right? Well, our neighbor down the way and across the dirt road is trees, right? It's woods. But along the edge, it's some wild blackberries growing. And I walked down there. They're almost done for the season, right? But I walked down there and picked what I could get between the thorns and the mosquitoes that were attacking me. Picked some blackberries, and I made a blackberry cobbler. And I could eat that last night too, and I was so happy about that. I'd try making shorts. I have too much to say in 30 seconds or a minute. I think some people are so gifted at making short video content, and I'm a long-winded, I have too much to say, and I have to say the same thing over and over again at least once in my videos. So I've tried to make shorts, and I just cannot process, like, it's too much information to stuff into 1 minute. Snacking on peanuts? Brenda, that hurts just talking about it. Did you do that? Did it work? I'll tell you what, I look like a Cabbage Patch Kid without my teeth in. Who would have thought ever in my life I'd be sitting here talking to the entire world, possibly, live on YouTube, and I'm talking about my teeth and taking my teeth out. But I look like a Cabbage Patch Kid when I take them out. But there are some days where my jaw is so tired that by supper time, I just have to take them out. You know, it's an adjustment. But anyway, so I've eaten a couple things. Like, I ate some peanut butter on bread, and there was no way I was eating that with my teeth in. I tried, and it did not work. So I had to take them out. And I can do soft stuff, but even then, you know, I'm still really just tender. I cannot imagine trying to chomp up a peanut yet without my teeth. These blackberries are so good. Don't say anything, just make the sandwich. You know what? I'm going to try it. A short form. I can't promise you anything. But maybe in my earlier days with my teeth, it would be better if I didn't talk at all anyway. I wrote it down so I can contemplate it. It works, Brenda says. All right, I'm going to write that down too. I don't know. That just sounds so painful to me. I'm going to write it down though, Brenda. Princess bites, yeah. And it's so funny because, you know, Harlan and I will start eating dinner at the same time, and he finishes in normal speed, and I'm like only a quarter of the way in, and I'm like, you know what, if you have something else to do, honey, just go do it, because if you sit here for the entire time it's going to take me to eat this sandwich, go do something else. Let me just sit and take my little bites and enjoy my sandwich. You don't have to sit here the whole time it's going to take me. Donna, thank you. Donna, I'm having so much fun with my sewing machine. And I subscribed to the Facebook page that you told me about. Let me find it so I can say it and give credit to this Facebook group. Actually, I think I subscribed to a subgroup of them. So I have to keep searching, but let me just hold on a second. The Gloria Horn Facebook group. But I think it's a subgroup or something. I'm a little confused. But anyway, I watched a video yesterday and he was showing, it was a Mickey Mouse head, and he sent a picture from his phone to the machine and assigned it stitches, and it was kind of what I was talking about, but not exactly. But I'm learning what all the different buttons do and the whole process of switching from IQ Designer into embroidery. Like, it's going to take me a minute, right? But I'm having so much fun with it. Yeah, I can't take big bites of anything, Brenda. I cannot do no more shakes and smoothies, Brenda. I am so sick and tired of pudding and soup and like, that's what I lived on. And I could only do it a couple of days, and then I was just pushing myself a little bit faster than I should have, I think. But like oodles and noodles, it had been years since I've eaten oodles and noodles. But that's all I was able to eat, that and pudding, for a couple of days. And Harlan he bought a watermelon, right? And he put it in the blender and he blended it up. And then he made with, you know, the Food Savers vacuum bags, right? He melted little pouches, long ones, and made watermelon puree popsicles. And I just lived on that for a few days. It takes so much patience. Have you ever made water slide decals on your Scan Cut? I have not. I've seen videos about it though. I have not made any. Oh yeah, I'm having so much fun. Let me just tell you. Now, okay, no shame to my Juki, because that machine is a workhorse. That machine is right there. And if I'm doing something big on this where it's taken a long time to stitch, I have no qualms about breaking out my Juki and doing some sewing. I love that machine. I love it. But I was doing some free motion stitching on the baby lock the other day, and it just hums. It is so smooth, and like it automatically adjusts the tension. It was just a totally different experience. It was so fun. I think I could drink potatoes. I love potatoes anyway. But other stuff blended up, I think I might have an issue. I think I could drink potatoes though. But I'm done with like sweet stuff, except for the cobbler which we had last night. That was really good. I bought a vintage machine in the hopes of restoring it one time. But I never did. I'm trying to think of what happened to that. I think I gave up on the project and sold it. during one of our many moves. It was gorgeous though, that machine. It needed a lot of work, like it needed so much. I've been watching more Sewing Center with Kathy's Tech Talk. Yes, I've learned a lot from her. Donna, I'm glad you're visiting with me even though you're not making the quilt. That really makes me happy. Thank you so much. Alright everybody, I guess since it's the 1st, I should go back to work and do my books for July and do a little bit more work for the rest of my day. And then I'm going to prep cucumbers because I'm going to start pickles in the morning. Four-day pickles. Have you ever made them? All of my aunts throughout my entire life have made 4-day pickles. Well, my mom started some the day I had my extractions done, and I have not been able to taste them. But do you know what I did this morning? I was able to eat one. I have to break it into little tiny pieces, but just the flavor of them, it just brings back a flood of memories, and it's so good. And I almost cried eating that one little pickle slice because it was so good, and I've looked forward to it since the day she started them, right? And I haven't been able to, not yet, until this morning, be able to chew one. And it was like, yes, finally. So tomorrow I'm going to start a batch of them. It takes 4 days. And, yes. Thank you so much, Janice. This was an impromptu live. And, who knows what I'm going to say during an impromptu live or what we're going to talk about, but I just really want to practice because next week we're going to start streaming on Fridays and putting together chunks of Sunday stars. Even if you're not doing the quilt, I hope you come hang out with us during the live. Although mostly we'll be talking about the quilt. You never know what I'm going to say. Thank you so much, Brenda. Yeah, and I know that eventually I'm going to get to where I just talk normally, you know, and I can eat normal things because let me just tell you, I've considered doing this for years now. Seriously considering it for 2 years. And you know how when you're sitting, you might watch my videos in your free time. You might watch other channel sewing stuff. You might watch cooking videos, right? In my free time, I watch all those things. But I also watch a lot of people who are going through their denture journey and their healing process and how much they've come since having it done, right? And not that you couldn't even tell that they had anything done, right? And so I know I'll get there. It's just a journey. Today I'm just practicing though. I wanted to come live at least once before next week for the practice. Do you know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't mind putting myself out there really so much. So lots of fun stuff coming up. Yeah, I guess I should go back to work. Do you think? I have a lot to do. In case you missed it, look at our little baby pumpkin. We have 5 of them. I want a canned pumpkin. I'll have to learn how to do that. I've never done it before, but isn't that just so cute? I almost just want to set it in here, but I also want to can it. I don't know. Catch me tomorrow for some updates. I show you my garden and our grapes and the little baby chicken out there. She's like a grown-up in miniature form. She's so tiny, but she's in charge of all of them out there. And yeah. Anyway, our last clue tomorrow. That's what I think so too, Terry. You know, even though I'm putting myself out there and it's kind of embarrassing, I think it helps other people know that they're not alone, right? And, you know, these things are normal. You go through them and you're not by yourself, right? Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Tammy. You would like to join the quilt making you were talking about. Where do I start? Are you asking about Sunday Stars? There's a whole playlist, and you can just start from the very beginning and work your way right through that quilt. There is 21 videos, including the introductory video. Tomorrow finishes up the last clue for that quilt, right? If you're talking about the art quilt, that's going to be a class, an in-person Zoom class on Patreon. There's a link down in the description box if you want to check out Patreon. If you just want to join for the month to do the class, you could absolutely do that, right? You could just do 1 month and that's all you have to do. Then this is coming out. I don't know if I'm going to do a video. Y'all, this is so easy. Y'all know how to do applique, and if you don't, I have tons of videos showing you how to do it. But this pattern is coming out on the 5th. And then the quilt made from circles, I'm still in the thinking process on that, but I'm also doing a landscape quilt with houses. It's like a reproduction of one of my quilts I did like 20 some years ago. And that's going to be on YouTube sometime in August. I'm still working on the pattern for that, but lots of fun stuff here on YouTube. But if you're asking about Sunday Stars, go to my channel. You should see it. And there's a whole playlist, start to finish, right up to where we are. We have so much fun on Patreon. We just did this past weekend. We just did our second 24-hour Zoom. And Donna just said, I joined Patreon and I love it so much. She stays up for the entire 24 hours. I did the first time. The second time, I knew that I was going fishing with Harlan that afternoon, Sunday afternoon. I knew I better just take a little nap. I better just take a nap. Plus, I was kind of exhausted from all of this, right? So I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, woke up at 7. I went in the chair right in the other room so I could still hear everybody talking and laughing. And you get silly at 4 o'clock in the morning, but we have so much fun. Tammy, Sunday Stars. Oh, there's a whole playlist. You can go right there. It's a free quilt project. It's going to stay free. So don't rush. Take your time with it. Save the playlist and start at the very beginning. And you can just work your way right on down through each one of the clues. You print them out. Follow the video if you need to. And the quilt is gorgeous. And what I love about Sunday Stars, okay, is when you see the finished quilt, the reason why it makes the perfect mystery quilt, and I'll say this as we finish up. Hold on a second. Hey Vicky, yeah, Patreon Zoom is so much fun. Didn't you have fun? I'm thinking of something that makes me laugh, so I'm trying not to think about it. The reason why Sunday Stars made the perfect mystery quilt is because when you see it finished, a lot of people, like I have a lot of quilters that follow along here on my channel that are relatively new in their quilting journey, right? And I think that Sunday Stars, seeing it finished, you know, a picture of it, would have intimidated a lot of new quilters. They would think, oh, that's too complicated. I can't do it. But breaking it down and keeping it a secret, we've revealed the quilt as we've gone week by week, right? And doing it paper piecing takes out all of the complicated angle cutting and stitching on the bias and the accuracy of the 1/4 inch seam allowance, right? We've eliminated all of that with the paper piecing. And now as the quilt is revealing itself, I know 3 people that this is the very first quilt they've ever made. And I have 2 people that this is the first time they've made a quilt paper piecing. This is the first time they've ever paper pieced. And I asked last Friday during the Zoom that we do for Sunday Stars, if you saw this quilt first, would you have tried to do it? And they said, no, it looks way too hard. But breaking it down and keeping it a secret, I was able to do it. And I think that that's amazing, right? What is the finished size? I don't have that right next to me, Sylvia. It's kind of like a twin size. It's not big like a queen size quilt, but it's bigger than a throw. I kind of want to say twin size. Thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, I have some actual work I have to do today, but I'm glad I was able to hang out with y'all. This was really good practice, and thank you for hanging out with me and enduring. And yeah, check me out tomorrow. My video premieres at 12 noon. I'll be in the live chat, and you can see a couple little updates of our stuff here at the house. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? Live streaming starts next Friday. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me.